Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group, the Trump team signs its transition MOU but refuses GSA's tech services. And the Justice Department's OIG calls out a lack of an updated public AI strategy. It's Monday, December 2nd, 2024. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. Here are today's top headlines. The Trump-Vance transition team and the Biden administration signed a memorandum of understanding last week, formally kicking off the process to hand over executive power, though the Trump team has decided not to accept some of the government's available resources, including tech and information security provided by the General Services Administration. The transition team will reportedly run as a, quote, self-sufficient organization, with existing security and information protections already built in, and utilizing private funding, according to a press release from the Trump transition team. That includes not using technology or buildings provided by the GSA as part of its transition resources that the agency is authorized and appropriated to provide. The Trump team also said it, quote, already has existing security and information protections built in, which means it will not require additional government and bureaucratic oversight. The release from the Trump transition team states that landing teams will quickly integrate directly into federal agencies and departments with access to documents and policy sharing. Susie Wiles, President-elect Donald Trump's chief of staff, said in the release that, quote, this engagement allows the intended cabinet nominees to begin critical preparations, including the deployment of landing teams to every department and agency, and to complete the orderly transition of power. In other news, the Department of Justice's Office of the Inspector General called out the agency's lack of an updated public strategy for AI and underscored the need to be proactive and report on its management and performance challenges last week. The comments came as part of the OIG's determination that maintaining cybersecurity and keeping up with emerging technologies such as AI were among the top challenges for the DOJ. For AI specifically, the report underscored how long ago the department's public AI strategy was released. The OIG's office said in the report that, quote, while the department has made efforts to adapt to the change in the technological landscape, such as hiring the department's first chief science and technology advisor and chief AI officer, the most recent publicly issued strategy on AI from the department, which outlines an AI adoption and coordination strategy with DOJ component responsibilities, is from 2020. That public document would have come before the technology's recent boom in popularity, largely fueled by the widespread availability of ChatGPT and other generative AI tools. It also precedes the Biden administration's October 2023 executive order spelling out steps for the government to take to use the technology safely and responsibly. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, visit fedscoop.com. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Scoop podcast, available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thanks so much. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people to find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put the show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back tomorrow with more top headlines. Until then, I'm your host, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening.